Welcome everyone to the grand finals of Cwpan Cymru. This is the most scuffed stream setup we have ever seen, but we are going to try and make it work. Nua, give me just an audible cue if this is working.
It seems to be working.
There you go. That's what we like to see. So first, before we go to the grand finals, I want to give a big shout out to all the players that have played today. So we're going to bring them out one at a time so you can give them a round of applause that the stream may or may not be able to hear. So first up, we have Gareth. Acrose, what are you doing? Go back. Gareth, everyone!
It's stream definitely can't hear that.
Going. Had a great time in your first LAN. You've just got to sort of appear through. There you go. You guys get very. In 7th place, we have Retzel. There you go. In hindsight, we should have set the camera somewhere a little bit better. Hey, there we go. In 6th place, despite his showing, he did in fact finish 6th. It's Babz. And then in 5th place, the last of the unpaid, we have Derp TM. God, yeah, so close. So close. And it is time for the grand final. They are playing for the money. It is a lot of money. Noor, I don't know if you know this. The prize pool is £550. Thanks to the donations for everyone at home. 100% of those donations have gone to the prize pool. So let's meet the players who will be fighting for that today. Currently coming in as the 4th seed for the grand final. It's the one, it's the only Louis! I should have made them stand closer. No, I'm sorry. There's a really big gap.
Can we just also get players turning to the camera occasionally instead of just running past it with their heads down?
Yeah, okay, we can do that. We can do that. Right. In 3rd place, the unpronounceable, the unknown before today, it's Ieupad! Don't face the camera. Don't face the camera. Face the camera. Coming in for the 2nd seed, the upset, the man who's defending his crown but currently is on the back foot, it's Acrose! Oh. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he's not Welsh at all. He's a pretender. Give him your best booze. It's Babz! We are going through to the grand final. These 4 players are going to make their way. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. Thank you very much to Cardiff and Vale College. We are having a great time. Grand finals time. Let's go! Oh, it turned out pretty well, didn't it, Noah?
It did, Thomas. The stream can still hear you. Remember that. If you have any final words for the stream before you go.
Yes. So, yes, thank you everyone who has bought T-shirts, who has bought tickets. Obviously, these guys, I've said thank you. We took donations for this event. It was only going to be 50% of donations going towards the actual prize pool, but because of everything else, we've covered our costs. 100% of the donations have gone to the prize pool, which means we do have a prize pool of £550 for just today. Acrose has already won 50 quid of that. So £600 total prize pool across the 2 main events. So thank you everyone for watching. We hope you're having a good time. And it's Ieupad. Ieupad.
Ieupad. Yeah, no, we sorted that. We were led slightly astray by our man on the ground, Thomas, earlier, but we have figured it out. Yata, we are getting ready to head to a grand finals. We're going to say goodbye to Thomas and goodbye to the crowd for now. We'll go back to them in the future. I do have news for you, Yata. There has been a poll in Twitch chat, and Twitch chat has decided that you should be casting the warm-ups in the grand finals.
That's absolutely fine. I mean, I was going to do it without the masking. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, it'll be happening at whatever happens for sure. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a banger of a grand finals. Listen, Thomas is saying it as if I should have known about the prize pool. I mean, based on the information I've gotten so far today, I'm shocked I know anything about what's going on from him. That's great. I mean, £550 prize pool from donations is absolutely wonderful. As Thomas said, thank you very much to everyone who has donated, who's bought the t-shirts, who has gotten the skin as well. I think you can probably still make a donation and get the skin if you really wanted to. Make Thomas's life harder by donating before he has to pay out the prize pool, but after the tournament has been played. That sounds like a great time to me.
Sounds fantastic. And I don't know why they were expecting you to know the prize pool when we didn't, between us, know the name of one of the players until the grand. So,
and I'd like to apologize for Ieupad about that. Listen, we did our best with the information we were given, and I mean, here they are. Yeah, I mean, in the grand final, having driven a great tournament so far.
Yes, very impressed. As I said at the start, I was really looking forward to seeing how Ieupad was doing. I might have said a different person, but that's who I meant. And now going into the final, I genuinely think it's anyone's to win or to lose.
Yeah.
We've seen Acrose in the first semi-final. There were some issues there, so there could be a chance for Acrose to not put in the performance that's expected. We've seen Louis at the end of the second upper bracket semi performing fantastically, one of the best we've seen today. Ieupad through most of that lower semis, and at the end of the upper final, very good. And yeah, I mean, Babz was fantastic in the first one, miles ahead, but. You know, we'll have to see. It's very exciting. What do you think?
It's going to be dramatic. I mean, look, the one match that we didn't really get to watch today was that upper bracket final, which is a little bit unfortunate because it did look like it was the closest match that we've had so far today, right? The good news, Yatta, is that all 4 of the players who made that upper bracket final close are now playing in the grand final as well. So if we can get anything close to a rematch of how things went down in that, it could absolutely swing in any direction. I mean, from what we heard, it was Louis dropping to last chance before anyone else and still managing to beat Ieupad dropped to last chance first, still beat out Louis. And by the time the match finished, Acrose was on 1 point and Babz was somewhere down near the single digits as well, right? Like, it was close the entire way through.
Yes, and it has been close the entire way through. I think it depends on who gets a good start here.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be trying to chase back. And the reason for that is because everybody in this lobby is going to be really quick. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They're all going to be really quick. So you're going to have to push, which means the chances of mistakes, especially if you're behind, will be higher. And you'll just drop further and further behind. And it's just not a good position to be in. If you're already ahead, you can get second place. You can safe if you're up there. Even if you drop down a bit, it's not going to be a big deal. So, yep, whoever makes that good start, that'll be who my money's on. Although that does seem like cheating. But anyway, besides the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just jumping on the bandwagon, I think, is what we call that. Whoever's already doing well, that's who my money's on. It's going to be good. Players getting ready now. They appear to have managed to make their way back into the room with the PCs at the very least. I'd imagine we'll have a couple of minutes of warm-up here, get everyone into the lobby, and then off we will go. And for once, Yatta, it's not Louis sitting alone. We've sent Ieupad off completely by himself on the far side of the room instead. Abandoned, isolated. At least he's got Thomas and Bruce there for moral support at the moment.
Would you want Thomas there for moral support? There's my question.
I don't think he'd be very good at it. He's much more likely to undermine you.
Why'd you crash there? What are you doing? Come on.
This would be way better if you were doing it on Steam Deck. Classic
Have
Thomas
you played Trackmania on Steam Deck?
He does love playing his Trackmania on Steam Deck.
I have done that before. It was an experience. I know Hotspot did it before and then still got a load of Irish records.
That'll happen, yeah. Thomas at LAN. I'm just shocked we haven't seen him in the background of the spectator area at any point whipping out the Steam Deck for a quick play. I suppose he probably actually has things to do with this LAN for once. He's busy.
He is busy, and it seems like he's busy. But what I want to know is how Louis is going to get on playing the game next to him. Is he going to be able to cope? This is new territory.
We'll send Padster in again just to comfort him, distract him. He'll be fine. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this grand final, absolutely. I mean, you're asking how Louis going to get on with people playing beside him. I'm kind of questioning how's Louis going to get on overall, because what we've seen from Louis today has been slow starts to a lot of his matches, frankly. He's taken a little while to get into the groove of things, and while that has worked out in the matches we've watched him in, they were the upper bracket semi-final, and it was the lower bracket final as well then. And I'm not convinced that that's, as you said, going to work out in the grand final here. It does feel like a case of if one of these players gets a hot start, they're going to be hard to catch. And so eyes on Louis for me, really, in the first part of this match.
And I think the other thing that we need to mention about the grand final, especially for people who have been watching all day, is there's actually a points change in the final. So they will have a little bit more time to come back. Instead of being a reverse cup with 100 points, it's a reverse cup with 120 points. So a little bit more time to get into it, but I still think the start is going to dictate the pace of the match, shall we say.
Yeah, it does give it. I mean, hey, that might be to the advantage of Louis, though. You're absolutely right. You know, a little bit more runway to work with from early on in the match, for sure. Might be exactly what he needs based on how the day has been going for him so far. And yeah, Thomas is holding something up. Very unclear. It was probably Italian brain rot, if I had to guess. It was impossible to see on that one. But I will remind everyone Yeah, I'm in the server already. What are you talking about? Stop bullying me. You're being weird, Thomas. Shout out to the Cardiff and Vale College, who are hosting the Cwpan Cymru 2025. From what I understand, it's been a successful partnership. I mean, the venue looks absolutely great. I'm very jealous of that spectator area, seeing everyone there in their t-shirts and shorts. It looks absolutely lovely there at the moment. And I mean, the matches have been getting off as well.
They have indeed. It'll be nice to go to these sort of lands. Personally, been to a Trackmania LAN. It's something on my wish list of things to do. Maybe something like a Cwpan Cymru, maybe an IOC LAN. Who knows?
Oh.
something in the future.
If the Welsh listen, if Thomas can organise a LAN, anyone can, right?
That's true. That's a fantastic point.
Don't know if that's entirely holds true, but hey, we got to stop bullying. We do have to stop bullying Thomas at some point. We have to focus in because we are now getting into our final warm up for the finals of Cwpan Cymru 2025. 1 minute left to go, and then we will be getting into rounds. ComradeLouis, Acrose 17, Babz, and a Ieupad 0-1.
Oh, and it's a great start so far from Louis, but Babz still seems to be left at the start. And
Babz
who's making it through?
That's crazy.
Babz is not driving.
Tech issues.
This is a poor start. I wouldn't have expected that from Babz.
Yeah. Hey, look, I appreciate it. It's the warm-up cast, as requested by Twitch chat. The poll has gone through, and Yata has delivered. As
long as they're not requesting it every map.
Yeah, every round. Twitch chat is a cruel mistress. I've characterized Twitch chat as an overall female entity there. I don't know. Is Twitch, like, ships are female, right? Is Twitch chat a ship?
That feels like a weird characterization.
Everyone in Twitch chat is a relationship, exactly. That's where we've landed on it. It's been a long day of casting already. We've got the last bit of silly out of the system, Yata. It's time to go. We're going to be heading on in to Llandau to start things off one more time. It's been a fun map to watch the entire time. That bug slide late on is going to be the difference maker in a lot of these rounds, you have to feel like, with things getting very close in the finals. And we are underway with our first round of the grand finals.
Yeah, and coming up, that ice has been causing some issues in different matches. I think this hasn't been Louis' favoured map going through the competition. There's been a lot of mistakes on that bug slider specifically, but he has got a great start in this round. Although all four of them, you could throw a blanket over them. And going into this ice section, who's going more? Acrose, but Louis got a really good ice section. Taken so much speed on that. Even had to release a little bit more than I think to, which has allowed Ieupad to catch up a bit. Acrose is a mile behind. Is anyone going to mess it up? Louis messed up the bug slide. He's still in third, but he's got less speed than Acrose, and Ieupad is out in first with Babz close on his tail. Who's going to take the dirt section nicer? Babz gets a clip. That's really bad. He's going to lose speed here to and he's going to go down into fourth place. Will Acrose be able to catch Ieupad? Absolutely not. And that will be a first for Ieupad.
Yeah, first place for Ieupad in the first round. And I mean, Ieupad, I don't want to say completely came out of nowhere for this event, but kind of came a little bit out of nowhere for this event. And he has performed incredibly well. We've said it a couple of times already. It continues to hold true as we get into the grand finals as well. And it was mistakes coming through from I'd say the two good focus players, but Louis is rocking the bad focus club tag instead. I don't know if that's entirely fair to himself on this occasion, but it has been tough on that first round for both of them. Babz, who was like clockwork, honestly. You could set your watch by him and his times in the first match we watched today. A little bit of a shaky start to this finals.
That being said, though, he's in first place so far, and that would be a great redemption round here. Although Louis does seem to have a bit more speed going through this. Acrose is still within sniffing distance. Babz taking the bug slide. Who's going to get it better? Acrose missed the checkpoint. It looked like. Did he miss the checkpoint?
He did. Yeah. Good call. Good spot, as he did just end up a little bit too low. All of them going for a very low line. We've seen high lines have more success. Maybe not more success, but success as well over the course of the day. Doesn't matter for the moment. As up front, Louis and Babz are so close together. Tighter for Babz, and he's first across the line, as Louis will have to settle for second place in our second round. Ieupad happy to come away with a third on that round, and meanwhile Acrose will make it across. Plenty of time to spare. Not going to be timed out, but losing 10 on the second round of the finals.
And something a little bit funky is going on. That was a really fast time from Babz of 0.446. That's the second fastest time on the local record today behind the one, the only NuaLoach with a 54-2.
Absolutely. I'll turn that on for chat just to see it there. Yeah, look at me, the fastest player on the leaderboard. Call me Acrose.
They can't quite see it because of the banner at the top. But,
no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's there at the bottom anyway. There's a 1 beside my name. Don't know how that's happened, but hey, servers are interesting sometimes. This is a close round. Starting off very tight up at the front. Louis going so tight on that ice slide as well. It's exactly what you were talking about. You really don't have to worry about the slide outs with the no grip as well on that section. It's gotten Louis right back into this round as well. Still sitting in 4th place, but that's just because everyone else is driving so cleanly at the moment. Louis will have good speed down the hill. Might be able to catch both Ieupad and Babz, but it'll require a good line through here. All of them are so clean through the dirt. Babz is the player who makes the mistake. He'll drop behind. Ieupad dropping down as well. Louis touches on the way through. Acrose and Ieupad then, the 2 players racing still at the finish line. Babz will take 3rd, and Louis, that touch was heartbreaking. He had such a charge in the back half of that map.
That was a great round overall as well. I think Acrose has looked not very composed so far at the start, but he had such a good bug slide in the middle of that map. He managed to gain so much speed coming out of it. He went so wide, and I think that really took him back into contention for that round, but it was just too fast from Ieupad at the end to just snatch the round off him.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly close there in that last round, and you'll have to excuse me, I was thinking about Twitch copy pastas rather than focusing on what was actually happening on the match. It was not helpful. I understand that now. It is, again, a really close round, and you can kind of see it, right? It was incredibly close the last time around too, as it just comes down then to these last couple of sections as people get desperate. And we're so early in the match, there's no need to really be desperate yet, but they are pushing so hard when they get there. Did Acrose get the checkpoint this time around? He's still driving, so we have to assume, yes, he was so low through it, barely got a wheel through it, if that was the case. And it is Louis in front. Acrose in 2nd, Ieupad in 3rd at the moment. Good exit from Acrose. Ieupad dropping a little bit back, went so wide on that exit. Anyone's at the finish here. Louis going to go wide. He will still make it to the line in 1st, but Acrose was less than a 10th behind. And Ieupad was 1500ths behind that.
This has been some high quality Trackmania so far. Everyone's been quick and for the most part surprisingly consistent.
Yeah.
And that is the end of Clandau.
Clandau done for the moment then. But I don't think the match is going to slow down at all from here, because we all know what the next map is.
The Ieupad featuring Jorday by Asa. Although I'm pretty sure before it was remade, it was featuring Asa by Jorday. But either way, Jorday and Asa. Not sure if we've called that out so far, but if we haven't, we have now.
Yeah. I'll call out the disrespect that Thomas handed me in the form of the files he sent me as well. We have our beautiful map intros, the graphics that were made as well. And the one that he sent me for this map is labeled as map graphic Aste. Aste.
Nice.
Yeah. That's how he's decided to portmanteau their names. And listen, I'm just passing on what's happened here, okay? Thomas, there's something... What's going on? Sorry, I've just looked over to the spectator room and things are... well,
okay. Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Deeply intimidating. Congratulations, you're all absolutely horrifying, and I appreciate that.
How long were they doing that for? That's
don't know.
That's
They're
terrifying.
Still doing it. Okay, we're moving on. We can't stay there forever. The Ieupad.
Do you have any other scene? Anything else?
Yeah, we've moved on. The Ieupad is there. They've relaxed now. It'd be more creepy if I was the only person able to see it as well. And they kept doing it the whole way through. They've stopped. I can confirm. And we're back in Trackmania. We can focus on we can focus on Trackmania. No worries, some worries, because it is going to be an early mistake. Ieupad has clipped that hole on the way through, survived, and is now behind on track, but at least in position where if there is a big mistake from someone else, they may have a chance to get back into this round. I'm not sure there will be a big mistake. It was very clean for the most part on the previous track.
It was, and no one managed. There's been a little bit of a high jump onto the sausage and people losing speed there, but they all went through well in this round. Babz having a little bit of an issue with the penalty there, taking it down into 3rd. Not enough for Ieupad to really catch, but it's still close out front between Louis and Acrose. Less than a 10th between them, and somehow Babz has actually caught back up a little bit here. Quicker through the engine off. I don't think it's going to be enough to catch ComradeLouis. Just about. There was nothing in that. That was dead even coming up to the line.
Yeah, the finish line on this track in particular is kind of deceptive. You know, those final times, I mean, sure, there was 400ths between them, but if anything, it was closer than that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a deceptive finish line with the angle you're approaching with the ice slide as well. 400ths can be as close as 1,000th on some maps or be as far away as a couple of tenths on other maps.
And indeed, and now coming into this first engine off section, who's going to take more speed through? It looks dead even between everybody. Onto the plastic here. A little bit of a lead from Acrose, but nothing that's insurmountable. I think Babz has got a bit of an issue here. Will he drop the gear? No, he will keep it, but he's still a little bit out of this round. It's quite even up front between the three. Louis in last, but he does have it's actually a bit of a poor drift. He's let Babz catch up a little bit, although there's another mistake there from Babz. And we're going into the end there with the top three of Louis, Acrose, and Ieupad. Dead even at the start between Ieupad and Acrose. Who's going to get the finish on the inside for the ice? It's very close between three of them. Acrose is going for the... Not enough track to make it.
And Louis was kind of pushing it on the inside there as well, trying to catch back up to Acrose, but for both of them, they just ran out of track. All three of them got it really clean, and a nice time as well. 52.2 from Ieupad up at the top is quick on this track.
It is, and now we're moving on. We were saying that whoever gets the worst start is going to have a real issue throughout the rest of this final, and it looks like the player with the worst start is Babz. Definitely not out of contention, but he has looked a little bit out of sorts in the last few rounds. We'll see if he can bring it back here. He is in second place with Ieupad out in third, but we are now coming onto the plastic, and Babz is in first.
Technically, yeah. I suppose you'd have to call that first place, but there you go. Immediately moving back down to second because there is nothing in it. Louis and Babz were so close to each other. Clip at the back from Ieupad is now falling behind these other three drivers, and Babz has lost ground to Acrose as well. Acrose high on the entry into this engine off, is carrying good speed, but Babz's line a little bit more direct has kept him up and alongside and in contention. Acrose disappears out of frame, but just for a second, he's back in as Louis touches. He hit that line, he bounced across, but it was enough to lose 2 places at the finish line. Ieupad still not able to catch, does take fourth in that round, but that's the start of it maybe for Babz. You said it, he needed a couple of good rounds. There's a first place.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit unsure as to how Louis... I was going to say how Louis messed that up. That sounds a little bit hard. Dead online with the ice. A tiny tap release and he would have made it into the finish. And is that a mistake at the start that I saw from Ieupad?
Ieupad all the way at the back, having to respawn at the start line. And that's always a brutal respawn. Standing start, no speed. It's essentially a forced double respawn if you make a mistake before the first checkpoint of any track.
It's that could be DNF territory. Maybe not quite, but it's in the realms of possibility.
Yeah. One more mistake and Ieupad is going to be in a lot of trouble. But up at the front, Babz is continuing his campaign to get back into this match, sitting in first place at the moment. But again, Louis is there. Again, Louis is not making it easy. Louis had managed to pull out a little bit of a lead by this point of the track in the last round. This time around, he still sits behind Babz, and it'll come down to the finish one more time. Louis going wide. That'll give him a good line on the inside. Babz loses speed. He lost the gear on the way up the hill, and he will drop 2 places. He gained a couple of places last time around in that final section. This time around, he loses them.
Yeah, he just tried to go too inside there, and he just Babz through the line a little bit, as you say, lost the gear, had to try and recover, and it just wasn't enough.
Tough finish to the track for Babz there, but I suppose at least it's mental reset. You go onto a new track at this point. And I say mental reset. This is maybe not the easiest track to mental reset on. As we go onto our mini RPG styled track, we head to Go Wild.
It's great for spectating though.
Acrose is trying to play rock paper scissors with you, so I think everyone needs to spam what their choice in rock paper scissors is at the moment. Not seeing anything. Okay. Yeah, listen, chat. I don't think... Okay, we got 2 rocks immediately. Unfortunately, I think Acrose did his about 10 seconds earlier, and you saw him also do rock. So I'm just going to say at Twitch chat, the decision-making is poor, okay? We're getting ready for this track, Yata. What are we looking out for? We've seen it plenty already today. I'm kind of expecting... do you think the beam is going to make a comeback as an issue on this Grand Finals?
I think it will be less of an issue in this match with the skill of the players. I will say, however, as I said, but I will say for this map, Louis didn't look the most comfortable in the lower finals. He was having a few issues there. He has been really good so far in the final. I mean, he's in second place, close to Acrose, so we shall see. But I think the mistakes are going to come potentially on the ice flip and maybe on that triangle checkpoint. There's a mistake from Louis.
On the first jump, you didn't call it out as a possibility, but we have seen, honestly, a relatively high density of mistakes on that first jump over the course of the day as well. I mean, people just maybe thinking too much about the rest of the round ahead, kind of not quite locking in for that first jump. And it has cost Louis on this round 7.5 seconds down early on. Babz is going to crash. There's no way in the hide for that. And is going to at least survive, but he's not going to be in any kind of contention for first place now. We are on the right scene. Did you try to troll me?
I think the stream's delayed.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on in the round. Rose is in a fair here. Second, Babz is in third. It's a little bit, as long as there's no mistakes, it should be fairly processional. And it looks like that is going to be the case. How far behind is Louis? He should be able to make no DNF. Yeah. And he does indeed.
He gets there. Anyway, but it will be still the -10 for Louis, who drops down behind Ieupad as a result. Acrose starting to pull out a little bit of a lead now in this grand finals. 86 points for him. Closest competitor is Ieupad on 72. Louis on 71 as well. And Babz has stabilized a little bit. Is starting to claw his way back towards those top positions. Sitting on 62 and only 10 points, 9 points behind anyone behind him there. Ieupad has meanwhile respawned further up the track, and so that is going to be a problem for the driver.
And Louis makes a little bit of a mistake in the turnaround there, a little bit of an overdrift and lost speed. I think Babz also lost a little bit of speed. And will they make the flip correctly? They will. A little bit of airtime there for Louis. I think a little bit of airtime for all of them, to be honest, saving it a little bit. Babz is not too far behind. And Acrose is still out in front. Babz should have enough to catch up to Acrose here, potentially. Maybe not. We shall see. Babz has got a lot less speed. Louis might be able to catch him on the line here. It didn't look like Babz got the reactor there. That was very strange.
Yeah. It could just be a visual bug as well. Sometimes you do get that on spectator through those reactors. But I'd like to first of all apologize. Apparently the stream has now decided to start dropping frames, which is a little bit unfortunate at this stage of proceedings, given that it's been pretty stable for the rest of the day. But hey, these things happen, I guess. Listen, Yada, keep yapping. I'm going to take a quick look and see if there's anything that is obviously causing me issues.
No problem. I love to yap. Going into this round now, this is the third round on the RPG map, with Louis having a little bit of an issue at the start. Ieupad taking a lot of speed off that drift. Will he be able to get round that through for the jump? It looks like he lost a bit, maybe a little bit too much of a drift there. Babz is catching up for Acrose and Ieupad, and then also goes for... Should be able to go into first place. Is that a big mistake from Acrose? I think it is. He's now in fourth place. Babz is in first. Louis is catching up a little bit here. Ieupad also not too far behind, still in contention. They're all going for the triangle. Babz seems to get it best. He has most speed. A little bit of a clip from Ieupad, shouldn't cost him too much. Going into the jump, will any of them safe it? No. A little bit of a clip there from Louis. And he's having to go safe, so this should be Babz in first. But a big mistake from Babz. There we have a incident, shall we say, at the end.
Yeah. That was the stream dying just a little bit there, and Babz in solidarity throwing himself off the beam as well. Listen, hey, I don't know what's going on with the internet, I fear. Bad things are happening, and hopefully it sorts itself out, because I can't see. What we might do is just restart the stream in between maps very quickly, just to sort this out as well. But we should hopefully get things stabilized in the near future. This is my new internet connection, Yata. This is meant to be perfect.
It hasn't been warmed up yet. That's the problem.
Yeah. I went very hard on it very quickly, obviously.
Yeah. But Louis has made a mistake now in this round and does seem to be quite significantly in fourth place. We did say that Louis has been having an issue with this map, and you can see it again with the jump. He's even further behind now. Ieupad also not having the greatest time here. Babz and Acrose are pretty significantly in front. Babz trying to go for a little bit more speed. Who's going to get it better through the triangle? It looks like Babz, although it's still close. Acrose makes a small mistake. It's actually a bit of a bigger mistake than I thought. He's given up the place to Ieupad, and has he clipped as well? He has clipped as well. I don't think it'll be enough to lose him third place. It won't, and no mistake this time from Babz, managing to come in at first place, and he's having a much better map this time. And Louis still hasn't finished. There we go. 5 seconds behind. And he's having a very rough map. He came into this map, you will remember, in second place, and now is in dead last.
Yeah, a little bit tough as we do wrap things up on the RPG map, and along with that, it seems to have just been that map causing my internet troubles for some reason. As we will hopefully be more stable now. Things look better. I'm getting green bars across the board. And well, hopefully, Yatta, we're sorted at this point as we get ready to head on to the fourth map in the pack. Still things pretty close across the board. Nobody has really dropped away from everyone else at this point. It is still Louis sitting in fourth place, but it's looking okay for him even still.
Yeah, and I do feel like this is potentially Louis' best map, or one of them. So if we are going to see Louis in with a chance, I feel like this is where it needs to happen, the comeback. Especially with near the end. I mean, apart from this, if he can get this consistent, the ice section, he was really good at the end. He was the quickest, or one of the quickest I think we've seen at the end. But Acrose has built a little bit of a lead now. He's 11 points up, which is definitely not insurmountable. I mean, when it comes to reverse cup mode especially, if people start not going out and you're not going first, you'll just start losing points, and other people will just still be in. So it's a case of, for Acrose, trying to build as big a lead as possible before we get into any of the last chance situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are ready to go then on to Pistet Hreadur on our fourth and final map of the map pack before we loop back around to the beginning for the last time in Cwpan Cymru 2025. And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see who can have the advantage at that point, because it does at the moment look like Acrose, and as you say, it does feel like Acrose really needs to start building a lead now before things start getting really messy towards the end of things.
Yeah, and Louis is in third place. Acrose is in last, but there's a little bit of a better inside there from Acrose. He should have a bit more speed coming out of this, which he does. But it's dead even up front with Babz and Ieupad. Babz takes a little bit of a wider line for more speed. Ieupad takes a little bit of a wider line himself, but it doesn't seem to have paid off. Acrose has had sort of the best corner of all these. Babz is now actually into third place. Who's going to get the best drift? It's dead even coming into the end here, and Acrose speed and will win the round. 0.1 between all three of them. What a fantastic round.
Great round there between all of the drivers, looking really solid on this track, and hopefully we get a few more rounds like that on Pistet as well. As Acrose does come out on top is, I suppose, the main thing really, right? We were talking about, does Acrose need to start to build up a lead now? Would it be useful for Acrose to build up a lead now? The answer is always yes, but that is a step in the right direction. That is no point loss for Acrose, who still sits on 69, and I'm sure will be happy to stay on the nice number for as long as possible while everyone else takes themselves out around it. Louis is starting to bleed points a little bit. Louis is starting to get into an area where you're saying, okay, this is getting worrying.
Yeah, it's still 10 points for last, so if he can win a few rounds, he'll be back in tension, but I don't think so far we have seen the speed necessarily to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. He is in a little bit of a rough place right now, and it is up front. Babz chasing a Ieupad and Acrose, and it's a touch from Babz, so Louis will go through, and up at the finish line, Acrose has made his way past Ieupad, who tries to catch him again. 11,000s between them at the finish line. It's absolutely nothing. But it is still a win for Acrose, who just had a better drift leading into that finish, and Ieupad, even with that final last little push, couldn't quite catch.
No, and I think there's been a few mistakes creeping into Babz's game that we haven't really seen throughout the rest of the tournament so far. He's definitely quick enough. He's been leading a lot of the rounds, but making a couple of mistakes around the end, which have really cost him in the grand scheme of things. If it was based on speed and how people have been performing for the majority of the races, I'd be up and around Acrose. But unfortunately, that's not how Trackmania works.
It is not, and we do have a format where, you know, it does matter what your average speed is or what the best time that you can set is, what's your max pace, and it's called time attack. And yeah, we did that before the event for seeding, and Babz did solidly there, but Acrose, I think, did even better during the seeding phase of things as well. So it matters, and Babz just needs to show the pace that he has at the moment as well. That was a touch from Ieupad, and Acrose has inherited the lead once again, but Babz is so fast down that hill. There's the pace. Will come home in first place. Louis made a mistake at the end, but Ieupad made a worse one. Will come home in a distant fourth place, having to go safe fin as well, tucked away around the corner. And that is a big round for Babz at a very important moment as he watches Louis drop down below 30 points. Babz stays comfortable on 37 and closes the gap to Ieupad as well.
There's two things there. That was a fantastic last drift from Babz. He went so wide, he took so much speed, and you could just see him just flying past Acrose. And the second thing is the scores at the moment and the order they are in the match is exactly the seeding order.
Yeah, there you go. Turns out seeding works. Absolutely. But you do need to step up, and it comes down to delivering in the moment as well, of course, in these rounds. And I mean, we've seen flashes of it. The main issue for everyone else in this lobby at the moment definitely seems to be that, yeah, Acrose is very experienced in these times of pressure situations and delivering when the pressure is on, and he seems to be stepping up to the challenge incredibly well, winning 2 out of the last 3 rounds. I thought there'd been a clip there from Ieupad, but made it through safely. Once again, incredibly tight coming down to the end. Once again, they're gonna send it, and once again, it leads to mistakes. It's Ieupad, it's Acrose who crumble under the pressure of those last 2 drifts, and we'll see what order they actually managed to finish in now. It was incredibly close. Acrose just beats out Ieupad.
And what's hilarious about that is it was such a fantastic round up until the end, and there's sort of forced mistakes and unforced mistakes, and that very much felt like forced mistakes at the end there. It was so close between all the drivers going to the end, and it was just having to push that little bit more to try and go from third to first, which caused Ieupad and Acrose to make those mistakes. So yeah, it's fantastic, and it's I'd love to see more of this, to be honest. This is dead even rounds the whole time.
Oh, it's been, you're right, incredibly dramatic, incredibly close rounds the entire way through, and with the scores remaining pretty close as well, it's going to be a dramatic finish too. It's going to be a close finish between all 4 of these drivers. I say all 4, Yada. I may be lying, as Acrose is now starting to extend that lead just a little bit, over 20 points ahead, heading into what could be probably not our last map, almost definitely not our last map, but heading into kind of their last 1, 2, maybe 3 maps at this point. Acrose has started to build that lead.
He has, but this was his worst map on the first run around by a country mile. He made quite a lot of mistakes, especially when it came to the bug side, and actually he was even slower going into the ice sometimes. It was it'll be if he can perform how he has been the last few maps and sort of bring this back up to the level of the other ones, then yes, as you say, he might be pulling away on the lead. But you know, you never know, especially based on performance so far.
Could end up anywhere. Absolutely. We'll see. I think the next couple of rounds are going to be incredibly decisive. They're going to shape the shape of this match. That's a terrible way of saying that, but we move. They're going to shape how this match ends, right? Who is really in danger of hitting last chance, and Babz potentially losing 10 on this round is not going to be particularly helpful for him in that fight to stay out of last chance first. Ieupad just behind Acrose and Louis, and it's Acrose who loses speed through that corner. Louis who inherits the lead, and Acrose having to release to stay out of the pole there as well. Going into this drift turnaround as well, the bug slide goes well for most of the drivers. Ieupad just behind Louis, then heading around the final couple of dirt corners of this track. The grass has been decisive before, though. Who enters that platform first at the end, and where do they enter it from? Louis so close on the inside, holds his lead. He's slower on the outside, but the lead is big enough. He manages to take it as well. What's happened? Oh,
radio cast from Nua.
Somebody needs to listen. When I'm locked in, this is why. Thomas, hire a producer next time. I'm getting abused by Twitch chat in every direction. I'm getting internet issues, and it's all falling apart. Hey, I gotta tell you all, it was a great round.
I wish you could have seen it.
Wish you could have. Wish you could. It was. The postcard said, "Wish you were here."
Yeah. But speaking of a postcard, you could fit all the drivers on a. That That was terrible. I apologize.
No, that was very good. I liked it.
Coming into the ice, who's going to be able to take the exit with more speed? It looks like Louis done a very good job of keeping speed and will keep first place. Ieupad just behind Acrose here. Babz dead even with Louis with a little bit more speed. Who's going to get the bug slide better? Acrose just about manages to get it. It was so close. And it's a first and second versus a third and fourth battle here. Nothing between the two of them. Who's going to come out of this with more speed? Ieupad clips a little bit. I don't think he's got much speed. Babz clips a little bit. Who's going to... Dead even between all three of them. Who's going to... It's Babz, then Acrose, then Ieupad. What a fight for the line there.
Oh my days. That got incredibly tense at the end, and it really came down to Babz touching, having a little bit of a mistake, still managed to hold on to the second place, and I mean, he'll be breathing a sigh of relief after that touch at the end to still take home second place. We're now getting into very scary territory for three of the drivers out there, as Babz is on 23 points, Louis on 19, and Ieupad on 16. All of them really only a couple of rounds away, a couple of bad rounds away from hitting last chance.
And Louis has quietly been on a bit of a tear here. I mean, he was quite far behind, but he's been doing really well until... Oh no, he just about managed to hold on. It looked like he'd made a mistake. But no, he's in third place here. Acrose out a little bit of a lead, but again, it all comes down to this bug slide section, how much you can take out of it. It looks like all the top three got it well and have kept their speed. There's not normally too many mistakes here, but who's going to take enough out of the dirt? Does anyone clip the inside? Acrose is slow. Babz might have enough speed here to pass him. He'll need to go really tight. And Louis' speed too. Who's going to go more inside? Place off Babz. But again,
Louis
what a good round.
That. Yeah, incredible. And it does really come down to this last corner so often. Who gets the line, who gets the speed, and who has the inside on the uphill at the finish as well. As Babz just about had it that time around, Louis now drops down on the scoreboard to third place, and Ieupad on 6 points is now very much at risk of going to last chance.
He is indeed. And in fact, it could also be only 2 rounds away from... Everybody's getting close to last chance, apart from Acrose, and that was Acrose who made a mistake, though. That should be 10 points lost for Acrose, which is big news for everybody who's still in this final, which is everybody, I suppose. Yeah. Coming out of the ice here, but it's still anybody's round. Who's going to get the bug slide better? Ieupad seems to be going for more speed here, and he does have more speed coming out of it. Babz, though, still in line with him. Louis is out in front. If he doesn't make a mistake, this should be a first place for Louis. He goes a little bit inside, though. He still manages to keep the speed. Babz has got speed as well. I don't think it'll be enough to catch him, although he is very quick coming into it. Louis just manages to hold on, and that is last chance here for Ieupad.
Yeah, Ieupad does head to last chance, but up at the front, I mean, Louis has been doing so well to hold off Babz on those occasions. I think the battle between Louis and Babz is absolutely one that we're keeping our eyes on through the rest of this match as well. But I don't want to write Ieupad off just yet, because we've seen a couple of players making their stand on last chance so far today as well. I think Ieupad definitely has the pace, and again, there's maybe not a better time to hit last chance than heading into a new map, to do it right on the map rotation, because it really is a chance to just break the cycle of whatever's been happening previously, to try and push your way through.
Yeah, and you said you've seen some last chance stands in this competition so far. I think the person with the best last chance stand so far, and that's not necessarily going to translate to the final,
we did
but
lose
you a chance.
All of the name that you said there.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Was it Louis?
Take it away, Nua.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to assume that it was maybe Louis making good last stands, because that's who I feel like I've seen making a couple of solid stands down to the bottom there, along with Bruce, who made a couple of very good last stands over the course of the day as well. I can't cut and find him in the crowd because I've had my crowd camera privileges revoked by Thomas, and so we've lost that entirely, unfortunate. But it is going to be a very close final here as we get towards the end of things. We're going to head straight on into the game this time around. No chance of a postcard on this one. We'll definitely get to see the first round as we head on back to the Ieupad.
Well, I'm hoping this is a little better. I turned up my volume slightly, so I hope pick it up. But fingers crossed, as long as everyone can hear me, we're going
Yeah, we're still
already
occasional losses, Yata, if I'm being totally honest, which is very unfortunate that it's happening more frequently now in the grand finals, but it is dramatic, and it is Ieupad who has dropped behind into the last place that he really can't be in. Last chance at the moment. Said that coming onto a new map might help him out, might give him a chance to reset the clock and to try and close the gap on the players in front, but it's not working out so far. Everyone cleanly through these sections, and while Ieupad has gained back on Babz at the moment, it's not enough. He needs this ice slide to go perfectly. He is just behind entering the ice slide. Louis is so wide. Ieupad is tight. Might get Babz, won't get Babz, and Ieupad, the first victim of the grand final, will be eliminated in 4th place in a great tournament overall from Ieupad, but unfortunately will be the first to fall in this grand finals.
Yes, and that's unfortunate for him. He's had a very good tournament. He's been in the top been the top of a lot of the matches he's played so far, so to come forth as someone who's a bit of an unknown entity throughout, I think is still a fantastic performance. And well done as well for Louis. He's lost very few points in the last few maps, to be honest.
Yeah.
Still sitting on 15. In with a little bit of a shout still.
Yeah, has been looking really, really solid so far. At the moment, it's maybe looking a little bit less solid in a shaky 3rd place, but it's a close 3rd place as Babz and Acrose try to lead. This over the penalty sand section coming up, trying to carry as much speed as possible. Babz entering with so much, but Acrose with a nice line on the exit, nearly caught airtime there. Just about kept a wheel on the ground and so didn't lose time, but Acrose now sits just behind Babz's nose going into the ice section, and Louis will clip on the entry as well. So it's Acrose and Babz heading to the finish line together. Babz just in front, holds off Acrose around the entire back half of the track to only lose 2 points and to keep himself off last chance for one more round at least.
And another really good time here from Babz. 3rd fastest we've seen today. So taking it, trying to stay. He needs to get first again to avoid last chance. And fingers crossed for him that he will be able to do that.
I mean, Louis has now dropped to a position where it's himself and Babz both looking to dodge last chance. If Acrose wins this round, he will send both of the other players in this finals into last chance at the same time. Be a great round to win. Now, they all are, but this one in particular for Acrose would be a huge take away from both of his opponents. But it is Babz leading through the middle of the track at the moment. Louis in 3rd, Acrose in that good focus sandwich at the moment as they head into this penalty sand. Again, good speed from Babz on the entry. Great line from Acrose, but Louis has just about managed to sneak his way in front of Acrose at the moment, and a lot of speed from Babz and Louis heading into that engine off. Acrose losing ground to both of them, probably won't be able to catch them on the line. It looks like Babz may be able to hold off last chance one more round. Louis gets close, he will not catch him. Babz survives on 1 point. Louis sent to last chance, and Acrose dragged that little bit closer. He's down to only 15 points.
Yeah, and that's a lot closer than he was a 2 maps ago. It looked like Acrose was running away with it a little bit, but now at this point, another we've had a failed start.
Yeah, round skipped. We'll get back into that one nice and quickly, I'm sure.
I thought I was casting warm up again.
No problem. No problem. We're straight back. No, we're paused. We're locked in. We'll figure out what's going on, I'm sure, and things will be sorted quite quickly, hopefully, as unsure exactly what it was, but it doesn't seem to be anything. The players are all still sitting at their PCs anyway. Nobody's had to run off. And Louis does confirm it was just a quick controller DC. So sorted now, and we will be back into the match very, very quickly. And do you know what I'm going to do, Yata?
What's that?
Remember to throw us back into the game after the pause.
Oh, there we go.
He's a genius.
Oh, you can tell he's produced before.
Yeah, not a lot, more than I'd like still. I'm much happier if I just get to do the yapping and don't have to push the buttons. But we're making it through the day anyway. Although Louis may not make it through this round, sitting now on last chance, needs a good one, needs to find a way past Acrose and Babz at this point as well, because Louis has started this round off in 3rd place.
Yeah, and I think to be honest, Babz will also want Louis to pass Acrose here. I think it's not a case of if Louis goes out, that helps Babz. I think the more players that are still in, the more points Acrose can lose before Babz will have to compete in last chance. That being said, Babz will be competing in last chance next round anyway. It's close here. Louis taking an outside line. Acrose is really risking this, but it's a good line from Acrose. Not good enough. And that is, Louis is now out. So that's GG's to Louis, a third place. I think that's a very good performance from Louis, especially in the second half of this match. As you said, Nua, a little bit of a slow start, but really clutched it up when it was necessary to manage to get that third place.
Incredible tournament from Louis, from Ieupad, but here we are at the end of it all with 2 players remaining, and I think you almost could have predicted it after seeing how the start of the day went. Babz started so strong today. Acrose is Acrose and was always going to do well at the LAN too. And it's come down to the 2 of them. It's come down to, well, it's easy to work out at this point. Acrose has done a wonderful job of managing to keep himself on exactly 9 points going into this final 2. And Yata, I'm sure you can tell me, how many points do you lose for coming second in the final 2?
Well, it's not 9 points, it's 8.
Yep, so Acrose is in a very strong position going into this final 2, where Babz needs to win 3 rounds back to back to back, and he has to do it on the mini RPG map. He has to do it on Go Wild, where there are so many things that can go wrong. In some ways, that might play in his favor, right? So many things can go wrong. They can go wrong for Acrose as well. But it'd be so easy for something to go wrong for Babz on the track here at this point. It'd be so easy for one mistake to end this tournament on any given round. But maybe, just maybe, Babz can pull it out 3 times.
Yeah, and it's a good start there from Acrose, getting the early landing to get more speed coming out of this. He's already 0.2 up to Babz here, but with the amount of mistakes that can happen on this map and the places where you can get them, it's definitely far from over. Babz has a little bit of a better drift here. He's got more speed coming out of this. He's trying to take low air time. Acrose, though, still 0.3 up. Is Babz going to go for a low jump here? He does, and he seems to get it about the same as Acrose. They both go for a low jump. This is really Acrose's to lose at this point, coming into the ending section of the map.
Yeah, there's time to be gained and lost through this ending section, though. Unfortunately, it does seem to be Babz losing that time at the moment. Has dropped another couple of tenths away from Acrose. This section, this transfer, how much speed can you carry? Babz, really clean, has gained those couple of tenths back. If he hadn't lost them earlier, he'd be in much better place. It's just down to Acrose to cross this beam one last time, and Acrose will take it home, winning Cwpan Cymru 2025. And when it came down to a 1v1 last chance, Acrose able to clean it up quickly. Babz didn't even get a chance to settle into that 1v1 before it was already over.
No, and I think this was the result people would have predicted at the start, but maybe not in the manner that it actually happened. I think it was very close. I think all the players played their part, and it was a fantastic tournament overall. Congratulations to Acrose.
Yeah, could well be, as that was truly a fantastic tournament, start to finish. As you said multiple times today, fantastic to see the level of talent in the Welsh community as well. I mean, we saw Cwpan Cymru the previous edition as well. It was good, but it definitely was a little bit more, I'm not going to say one-sided at times, but it wasn't quite as stacked at the top. This time around, I mean, any of the top 4 coming into that finals, it definitely felt had a good shot at it. And, you know, that's kind of the way it played out. Acrose managed to close it out, but any of the other 3 definitely had their chances and had the ability to possibly take it.
And I think even within the final, there were different times within the final where different players were ahead. Like near the start, you saw Ieupad was doing really well, was potentially first and ended up going out first. You saw sort of the second half there, Louis was doing really well. He was stuck on 19 points for what felt like forever. Babz throughout had some rounds where he was clear first without any real competition, and then other times make mistakes and end up near fourth. And then Acrose throughout was just consistently up there and thereabouts. So they all showed glimpses of what they can do in that final. So it was a really good way to end it, I think.
It absolutely was. And as the players walk out of frame for the last time, we'll bring it back to our faces. Well, my face and your profile picture for the last time, Yata, as well. I mean, you could see it as well there, I think, in the body language from Acrose. I don't think he looked that stressed after the last Cwpan Cymru. took it out of him, that finals, to actually pull the win out in the end over everyone else. But that's going to do it. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us here for Cwpan Cymru on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in June. Get outside, enjoy the sun while it's still there as well. the players I know definitely will be getting out and enjoying the Saturday evening in Wales this evening as well. Yata, any closing thoughts?
Well, thank you very much, Nua, for doing the cast with me. It was great fun, and I really enjoyed seeing the tournament. Well put together by everyone, and it was a great day of racing.
Yep, technology only betrayed us a couple of times, and none of it was on the actual player side, which is about all that you can really hope for with these things as well. So, once again, congratulations to Acrose taking the lion's share of the £550 prize pool. Thank you very much to everyone who donated to that, who bought tickets, who bought the t-shirts for the event as well, which are sick, and I'm kind of regretting not having gotten myself one. I'll have to see if Thomas has any spares lying around. But for now, this is Cwpan Cymru 2025 wrapping up, and we'll see you all at some point in the future, again, on this channel for something going on with the British and Irish community. See you all then, somewhere, whatever. I'm just going to wrap up and turn this stream off immediately, by the way, because we don't have an end screen, so this is it. It's going to stop very abruptly in a few seconds, and I apologize for that.